St. Swithun's day, if it doth rain, for 40 days it will remain. St. Swithun's day, if fair it be, for 40 days no rain will see. Few weather prophecies are held in greater regard in England than this one concerning the weather on July the 15th, St. Swithun's day. The fact that it seldom, if ever, proves true does little to shake the faith of the believers in it. To this day, country people thinking of their summer fates, or if they are farmers and gardeners of the welfare of their crops, look anxiously out at the weather on July the 15th. St. Swithun, Bishop of Winchester in the 9th century, was according to all accounts a particularly holy man. He was also an extremely humble one. He would never take advantage of the privileges to which his rank in the church entitled him. At all feasts and ceremonies, he chose always to seek the lowest place and to perform the least important duties. He carried his deep humility with him to the grave and left instructions that when he died, his body was to be buried not within the abbey church, as was customary where bishops and other high dignitaries were concerned, but outside the churchyard. Moreover, he ordered that even here the worst possible site should be chosen, desiring that the grave should be dug on the north side of the building, where only suicides and the unbaptized were commonly laid, and in a spot whereon the drippings of the eaves might fall and the grass be trodden by the feet of those who came to worship. His sorrowing monks complied with his request, and for 100 years in just such a lowly spot his body lay. Then, when Dunstan was Archbishop of Canterbury, it was decided that it was unfitting that such a holy man should lie in such a humble place, and arrangements were made to move the coffin to a shrine within the abbey walls. But just as the removal service was about to begin, a sudden storm arose, and the rain poured down so violently that the service had to be abandoned and the saint's body left where it was. For 40 days the rain continued to pour down without intermission, until at last those responsible for the intended removal came to the conclusion that St. Swithun himself, in displeasure at having his wishes disobeyed, must be causing the downpour. The attempt to carry the saint's remains to the new shrine were relinquished, and the grave in the churchyard was filled up. Immediately the rain stopped, and the sun shone out, as though to show heaven's approval of the restoration. But still the church authorities could not reconcile themselves to leaving matters just as they had been. They felt that they must do something for the honour of their saint. So they effected a compromise. They built a small chapel over the humble grave, in which pilgrims might pray for the help of the holy man. This halfway measure seems partially, though not wholly, to have appeased St. Swithun. For though he worked many miracles, healing the sick people who came to his shrine, yet in the matter of the weather he pursued a very capricious course, sometimes sending 40 days of rain, sometimes 40 days of dry weather, apparently depending upon how he happened to feel on the day dedicated to him in the calendar.